Hello. Yes, it's a great day. I'm excited you're here. And I want to talk to you today about, are you afraid of failure or even success? Or is there something that you are fearful of in your life? Meaning, maybe you're afraid of not reaching a goal. Hi, Lisa, buddy. Maybe you're afraid of what people think. Maybe you're afraid of bombing up on stage. Maybe if you're trying to be a presenter and you're scared of being seen. Anything. Maybe you're just afraid to speak up in a meeting or speak up in a room full of people because you're wondering, what are people going to think? So this made me think to this morning, because I'm always like, hey, look over here, right? Like, hey, everything's great. Like, here's the fun part. And really, there's some serious things that we're dealing with on the inside of us. And looking good, feeling good, that's all great, but what's happening really and truly to our insides? And so, what I want to talk about today is like, do you feel like this right here, but really you're like out there looking like this? Like, you're just out there like, hey, everything's great, but on the inside, you're like, like, remember on Home Alone when he's like, ah, that's, do you feel like that on the inside? Is there something that you're afraid of? So, for example, when I was growing up, I wanted to be, well, eventually around the age of like 20, I wanted to be a stand up comic. And I had never done comedy before. And so when I was at a corporate position, I sold tickets at work for $5 a piece. We found a bar that would let us use their space. We could get about 150, maybe 200 people in there. And we ended up raising $5,000 for Ronald McDonald House, which was amazing because I was doing the show for free. They let us use the space for free. And then we did $5 pizza and beer night, which was super cool, right? And my very first comedy show, now let me back up just a little bit. So I had thought I was funny at work, I was funny at family functions, I was funny in life, and never ever thought about being on a stage. And in one day, three people came to me and said, in one day, three people said to me, hey, you should do stand up comedy. A few hours later, hey, you should do stand up comedy. Hey, a few hours later, you should do stand up comedy. Finally, I thought, oh my gosh, the universe is giving me this huge message. And like, so I thought, ha, that's funny. And then I thought, oh my God, I just signed up to do my first show of comedy in front of 200 people that I work with, which is probably 100 times scarier because these people already know how you are and have heard your jokes. And I didn't want to repeat the same information to these people. And so I scheduled the first show. Like I said, we raised $5,000, which was amazing. We donated that to Ronald McDonald House, which is a facility that allows families to stay at the hospital for free. And then they can yes, so their family gets to stay with them. And then I scheduled the show. My very first stand up comedy show on a stage with a microphone was 1 hour long. Super exciting, right? And I wanted to be like, yay, this is it. And then inside I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna wet my pants. What if I bomb up there? What if I'm not funny? What if my jokes don't land? What if I offend somebody? I had all these what ifs in there. And then, oh, I just got chills. Okay, truth bumps coming out. Then so fast forward, and the show was a success. Everything went great. Pizza and beer were funny. People choked on their food because the jokes were funny. It was a great, great time. And then I thought, this could really take off. This could literally change my life. And in the moment of thinking that, I thought, oh my gosh, I don't want to make a crap ton of money being me. I was so scared to make money to be me that I blocked it out. So I would still be funny at work, and I would still be funny on paper, and I would still be funny with friends and family, and even inappropriately at funeral homes because we're celebrating somebody's life, right? excuse me. So I was terrified of becoming famous. And I'm not saying that in a cocky way. I'm just saying, like, that was my fear of success. And so, really, what scared me was that my parents worked really hard. They were super hard workers, still are, and super, like, it's, you got to work hard. You got to work hard for that money, right? And so that really instilled it to me, in that I was out there just making people laugh, and it was so easy for me that if I make all this money, then I might be disowned, I might be shunned, the family might break up with me, they're going to talk crap about me, they're going to think I'm better than them. And it's not that. I just wanted to share my craft. So really, I just kind of like stuffed it down. And I shared comedy with close people, close friends, close family, like I said. And I didn't do comedy again for a while until about 10, maybe 10 to 15 years ago. And, excuse me, then I would just do like one show every now and then, every now and then. And then I finally realized, once I broke up with this money mentality of I shouldn't be getting paid to be me, is really when I started to put myself out there and started doing comedy shows all over, because I felt this is my passion. I'm trying to have the world laugh and share that laughter and love and that space with the world. And whether it's on a stage, whether it's in the parking lot, whether it's with my neighbor, whether it's through a book, it doesn't matter. I want jokes and like funny stories to come through and just share that with the world. With that being said, for that span of time, I literally just shrunk myself down, let the world get the best of me instead of standing in my confidence and my superpower, and I just kind of saved that. And then that's why everybody now is like, "Oh, you're doing all this amazing stuff. You're doing all this." Really, I'm just stepping into it. And so I allowed that, and really I want to share that with my family, with my friends, with everybody. And I have broken up with that fear. So with that being said, I want you to think about, hi Sharika, I want you to think about, what are you hiding from yourself, from the world, from anybody, from even your authentic self? Why aren't you stepping into your true self? What is keeping you from doing that? And so I want to share with you today, well, one, that personal story, because I've never shared that online before. And it's not anything to do with my parents. That's not anything. That was their mentality. And growing up, that's really, I think a lot of us had that, where you have to work hard for your money. We still deal with that. A lot of people, a lot of my clients that I'm working with are working through that. And so that's okay. So I just want to ask, if you can still be afraid. There's people, just as many people afraid of failure as there is that are afraid of success. And so if you feel like you're alone because you're afraid of doing something, you are not alone. And because I come on here every day and I'm super excited and I'm like holding that space for you, I've had those fears. I've had crisis. I've had anxiety. I've wanted to throw up when I was on stage. Actually, I found out that I had a butt twitch when I got up there, right? Like, I didn't even know that you could have nerves so bad that literally your butt will twitch for the whole time. Right? So I thought I had it all calm, cool, collected, but my body was like, no, this is fight or flight. And even though it was my jokes and my sharing that with that, so what I have here is an actual resource for you, and it's a fear, like working through your fear worksheet. Okay, and there's a few pages in here, so here's what it looks like. So you're going to define, what's the worst thing that can happen if you do this. So some of my answers might be, I become successful, somebody finds me, so somebody takes me on tour with them, I start touring myself, I start making a crap ton of money, and then people talk about me. Okay, then what? Guess what? They're already talking about me, so why does it matter? Why don't I just go to here instead of here? So stay over here, and it's okay, right? Because that's your authentic self. Then there's the next page says, what could I do to prevent each of these things from happening or decrease the chance of them happening? So what happens if I don't do this? And so let's say if my answer is, if I don't do this, if I don't do stand-up comedy, or I don't do coaching, or I don't do this presentation, or whatever my fear is, what's going to happen? Or what could I do to prevent each of these things from happening? Okay, so there's 10 lines on there for you to think about that. Then this is going to be in the repair part. So if the worst case scenarios happen, what could I do, or who could I ask for help to repair it? So let's say my family disowns me because now I'm rich and famous. Okay, worst things could happen, right? So let's say if that's the worst case scenario, what's going to happen? I can talk to them about their beliefs and why do they think that I'm toxic, or what is the issue, or why did they disown me, or that might not even be it. It might just be my own issue, right? So what could you do, or who could you ask for help to repair that? So that's something to think about too. There's 10 lines on there. And then there's going to be a rating. So you're going to give each one a rating of up to of the 10 points listed out of 10 of how devastated they would be to your life, with 1 being minor and 10 being the worst thing ever. Okay, so this is going to put into perspective. If you feel like it's a whoa, 10 out of 10, like this is the worst thing ever in my life, then that's going to be something you're going to want to look at. You know, do you have an issue with anxiety? Is it really something that you need to address? What is holding you back? Is this a block? That kind of thing. So you're going to give that a score. And what might be the benefits of an attempt or partial success? So let's say if I'm just putting myself out there like I do every day, then what could be the benefits of this? I share my message every day. I get to make you laugh. I laugh. I feel better. That's a success to me. I feel amazing while sharing information with you. Okay? What might be the benefits of an attempt of what you are fearful of, or where are you going? Okay? What's the cost of the inaction? So this can be emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. And I have this worksheet for you, so you don't have to write any of this down. I'm sorry, I'm going to give this to you. So this could be financially. What is going to be the cost of inaction? So if I don't do anything, what's the cost? To me personally, my answer right now would be that it would be the cost of my happiness, my living in my truth. That's what this would cost me. So that's going to ask you 6 months from now, 1 year from now, what is this costing you? So you can put an actual financial cost to that, an emotional toll, whatever that means to you. Okay? And then 3 years from now, so you're going to look at it long term. What happens if you don't do anything? And then you're going to go back and rate each one for the points out of 10, like how devastating on that would that be for your life, out of your life. Okay? So I have this worksheet for you. It's a few pages. You can go ahead and print it off. It's on my website at somuchenergy.com/free. Free. So it's in there. It's called the, oh, let me double check here. Overcoming Fear worksheet. It's the 3rd one down. And I'll also put a link in here for that for you. So I wanted to share that with you today. There's some other free resources on there. And I just wanted to share that with you because I feel like a lot of times we're just out there and we're like, hey, everything's great. And I really wanted to bring not fear to the forefront, but fear for you to look at it even in a way of success or failure. Okay? So maybe you feel like you have a block and you just need a few things to work through, and then it can just like be that one thing for you to just take off and do what you need to be doing. Okay? Or even just maybe give you a different perspective of what you're afraid of. Maybe it's really not that big of a deal. If you're like, hey, I'm fearful of this, and it's really not that big of a deal. Even if it's something like, I'm afraid to ask for a raise. I'm afraid to confront somebody about this. I'm afraid to this. I'm afraid of being the first 6-figure person in my family. I'm afraid of going to college because of what my family will say. Whatever your fear is. And if you're hesitant and need somebody to talk to about it, let me support you. I'd be happy to support you in that. So go ahead and work through your worksheet. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and let me know. You can either email me or, and I'd love for you to sign up for my newsletter for that too. So I put a newsletter out every other week from the So Much Energy website. And yeah, so we will see you again soon. I hope you have an awesome, awesome Friday, and go be your awesome self. And if you can't, go through the worksheet and we'll get through it. Okay? All right.